I understand that this statement may seem startling, perhaps even unsettling to some of you. You might be thinking, Wayne, what do you mean by assimilation? Surely, this world I see, touch, and experience is real. And to that, I say, yes, it is real, but perhaps not in the way you have always believed it to be. Let us begin by understanding what I mean when I say you are in assimilation. I am not speaking of some technological construct, some computer-generated reality as depicted in your science fiction tales. No, the simulation I speak of is far more profound, far more encompassing. It is the separation, the illusion of limitation, the dream of reality that we agreed to experience. You see, my dear friends, at the deepest level of reality, we are all one. We are individualized expressions of the one divine consciousness, the one God, the one I am. This divine consciousness is infinite, eternal, and all-encompassing. It knows no limitations, no boundaries, no separation. It is pure potential, pure creativity, pure love. Yet, here we find ourselves experiencing a world of seeming separation, of apparent limitations, of perceived duality. We experience ourselves as separate beings, distinct from each other and from the world around us. We perceive time as linear, space as fixed, and our abilities as limited. This, my friends, is the simulation. But why, you might ask, would we choose to experience such a simulation? Why would infinite consciousness choose to experience limitation? The answer, paradoxically, lies in the nature of infinity itself. For infinity to know itself, it must experience all possibilities, including the possibility of limitation. And so, we as individualized expressions of this infinite consciousness have chosen to immerse ourselves in this simulation of separation to experience the thrill of rediscovering our true infinite nature. Now, let us delve deeper into the nature of this simulation. The simulation is not something external to you. It is not a prison in which you are trapped. Rather, it is a creation of consciousness itself, your consciousness. You are not in the simulation. The simulation is in you. It is a dream you are dreaming. Again, you are playing with yourself. The world you see around you, the circumstances of your life, the very body you inhabit, all of these are projections of your consciousness. They are not causes, but effects. They do not define you, they reflect you. They are the outward pictures of your inner assumptions, your beliefs, your state of consciousness. This understanding is crucial, for it is the key to exiting the simulation. You see, you cannot exit the simulation by trying to change the outward pictures. You cannot break free by fighting against the shadows on the wall of Plato's cave. The only way out is in, by changing your consciousness, by awakening to your true nature as the dreamer of the dream. So, how do we begin this process of awakening, of exiting the simulation? The first step is awareness. You must become aware of the simulation, aware of the dreamlike nature of your reality. This awareness begins with observing your thoughts, your beliefs, your assumptions about yourself and the world around you. Start paying attention to your inner dialogue, to the story you tell yourself about who you are and what is possible for you. Notice how these inner conversations shape your experience of reality. Observe how your beliefs and assumptions manifest as the circumstances of your life. This observation must be done without judgment, without trying to change anything at first. Simply observe. Become the witness to your own thoughts, your own beliefs, your own assumptions. As you do this, you will begin to see the patterns, the habitual ways of thinking that have shaped your experience of reality. You will start to notice how your beliefs about limitation, about lack, about unworthiness have manifested as experiences of limitation, lack, and unworthiness in your life. You will begin to see how your fears, your doubts, your anxieties have taken form in the world around you. This awareness is the first crack in the facade of the simulation. It is the beginning of your awakening. For in becoming aware of these patterns, you also become aware of your power to change them. You begin to realize that you are not a victim of circumstances, but the creator of your reality. As this awareness deepens, you will come to a profound realization that you are not the thinker of your thoughts, but the awareness behind the thoughts. You are not the beliefs, the assumptions, the fears, or the doubts. You are the consciousness that observes them. This realization is a crucial step in exiting the simulation. For as long as you identify with your thoughts, with your beliefs, with your assumptions, you remain trapped in the simulation. But when you recognize yourself as the awareness behind these mental constructs, you begin to free yourself from their grip. Now, my dear friends, as we continue on this journey of awakening of seeing the simulation, we come to the next crucial step, the practice of detachment. Detachment in this context does not mean a lack of care or involvement in your life. Rather, it means detaching from your identification with the characters and circumstances of your dream. You see, within the simulation, we tend to identify strongly with our roles, our professions, our relationships, our possessions, our appointments, our problems. We say, I am a doctor, I am a mother, I am poor, I am successful, and so on. But these are not who you are. They are roles you are playing, costumes you are wearing in the grand drama of life. To exit the simulation, you must learn to detach from these identifications. You must realize that you are not the character in the dream, but the dreamer of the dream. You are not the wave at the ocean. You are not the role, but the actor playing the role. This detachment allows you to observe your life experiences from a higher perspective. It enables you to see the dreamlike nature of your reality more clearly. It frees you from the emotional entanglements that keep you bound to the simulation. Practice saying to yourself, I am not this body. I am not these thoughts. I am not these emotions. I am not these circumstances. I am the awareness that observes all these things. Do this regularly, especially when you find yourself caught up in the drama of life. As you practice this detachment, you will find that you can navigate life's challenges with greater ease and grace. You will be less reactive, less easily swayed by the ups and downs of life. You will begin to experience a deep sense of peace and freedom, regardless of external circumstances. Now, my friends, as we delve deeper into the process of exiting the simulation, we come to a powerful technique, the practice of revision. Revision is not merely about changing your memories or rewriting your past. It is about recognizing your power as the author of your life story and consciously choosing to write a new narrative. You see, within the simulation, we often feel bound by our past experiences, our memories, our habitual patterns of thought and behavior. We believe that because something happened in the past, it must continue to influence our present and future. But this is part of the illusion. In truth, there is only the eternal now. The past exists only as memory. Memory is malleable. The future exists only as imagination. All power, all possibility exists in the present moment. And in this moment, you have the power to revise your story. Here's how to practice revision. At the end of each day, review the events of your day in your imagination. If there were any events that were not to your liking, revise them. See them unfolding in a way that pleases you. Feel the satisfaction, the joy, the fulfillment of this revised version of events. This is not mere fantasy or wishful thinking. Remember, your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. By revising events in your imagination, you are literally rewriting the energetic imprint of those events in your consciousness. And as you change your consciousness, you change your world. Extend this practice of revision to your entire life story. Are there past events that still trouble you? Revise them in your imagination. See them unfolding in a way that empowers you, that brings you joy. Feel the emotions of this new version of events as if they were real. Because in the realm of consciousness, they are real. As you engage in this practice of revision, you are doing more than just changing your memories. You are exercising your power as the author of your life story. You are recognizing that your reality is not fixed but fluid. You are stepping out of the linear time construct of the simulation and into the eternal now of true reality. Now, my dear listeners, as we continue our journey towards exiting the simulation, we come to a fundamental truth that you must not only understand, but embody. The power of your imagination. Your imagination is not some frivolous faculty for daydreaming or escapism. It is the very workshop wherein you fashion your reality. In the simulation, we have been conditioned to believe that imagination is separate from reality. We say things like, it's just your imagination, as if to dismiss its importance. But I tell you now, your imagination is the most real, the most substantial thing in your experience. It is, in fact, the very substance of reality itself. When you imagine, you are not creating images in your mind. You are experiencing reality at its most fundamental level. You are engaging with the pure potential of consciousness, shaping it with your attention and your assumption. To exit the simulation, you must learn to use your imagination consciously and deliberately. You must treat your imaginal acts as real events, for in the realm of consciousness, they are real events. They are causes set in motion that must, by universal law, produce effects in your outer world. Begin by choosing a desire, something you wish to experience in your life. Now, close your eyes and create a scene in your imagination that implies the fulfillment of this desire. Make it as vivid and as real as possible. Engage all your senses. See the details. Hear the sounds. Feel the textures. Smell the scents associated with this scene. Most importantly, feel the emotions you would feel if this scene were actually happening in your physical reality. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the gratitude of having your desire fulfilled, for it is the feeling that gives life to your imaginal act. Now, here's the crucial part. You must persist in this imaginal act. You must return to it again and again, dwelling in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You must live from this new assumption, this new state of consciousness, regardless of any contradictory evidence presented by your physical senses. Remember, the physical world you see around you is the effect, not the cause. It is the shadow, not the substance. By persisting in your imaginal act, by consistently assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are changing the cause. And when the cause changes, the effect must change. This, my friends, is how you begin to consciously create your reality. This is how you start to exit the simulation. You are no longer a passive participant in a pre-programmed reality. You are the active creator, shaping your world with the power of your imagination. As you practice this, you will begin to see changes in your outer world. Circumstances will shift. Opportunities will arise. People will respond to you differently. These are signs that you are starting to break free from the old patterns of the simulation. But here's a word of caution. Do not become attached to these outer changes. Do not seek for signs or try to make things happen. Your only task is to persist in the assumption of your wish fulfilled. The how, the when, the where of its manifestation is not your concern. That belongs to the infinite intelligence of the universe. Your job is simply to imagine and believe, to live from the end, to dwell in the state of the wish fulfilled. As you do this, you are literally reprogramming the simulation. You are rewriting the code of your reality. You are rewriting the code of your reality. Now, let us delve deeper into another crucial aspect of exiting the simulation, the understanding and application of the law of assumption. This law states that your assumptions, whether conscious or unconscious, shape your reality. To assume a state is to experience that state. Within the simulation, we often feel that we are at the mercy of external circumstances. We believe that we must change our actions or our environment to change our lives. But this is part of the illusion. The truth is, all change begins within. It begins with a change in your assumptions. To exit the simulation, you must become conscious of your assumptions and deliberately choose new ones that align with your desires. This is not about positive thinking or affirmations. It's about a fundamental shift in your state of being. For example, if you desire financial abundance, you must assume the state of a wealthy person. How would a wealthy person think? How would they feel? How would they carry themselves? Assume that state now, regardless of your current bank balance. Live from that assumption. If you desire a loving relationship, assume the state of someone who is deeply loved and cherished. Feel that love now, even if you're currently single. Live from the assumption that love is your natural state. Remember, in the realm of consciousness, there is no process. There is only immediacy. The moment you assume a state, you are in that state. The outer world may take time to reflect this change, but in consciousness, it is instantaneous. This understanding liberates you from the linear time construct of the simulation. You no longer need to wait for your desires to manifest. You can experience them now in your imagination, which is the reality of all realities. As you practice living from your desired state, you may notice a peculiar phenomenon. The gap between your imaginal acts and your physical reality will begin to close. What you imagine will start to manifest with increasing speed and accuracy. This is a sign that you are loosening the bonds of the simulation. Now, my dear friends, as we continue our journey towards exiting the simulation, we must address a critical concept: the nature of your true self. Within the simulation, we identify with our physical bodies, our personalities, our personal histories, but these are not your true self. They are aspects of the character you are playing in this grand drama of life. Your true self is the awareness behind all these things. It is the observer, the witness, the knower of all your experiences. This true self is not bound by the limitations of the physical world. It is not subject to birth or death, to change or decay. It is eternal, infinite, and all-encompassing. To exit the simulation, you must shift your identity from the character to the actor, from the dream to the dreamer. This shift in identity is not something you can achieve through intellectual understanding alone. It must be experienced, realized at the deepest level of your being. One powerful way to facilitate this shift is through the practice of self-inquiry. Throughout your day, pause and ask yourself, who am I? Don't try to answer this question intellectually. Instead, turn your attention inward. Look for the source of the I thought. Who is this I that is experiencing all these things? As you inquire deeply, you may come to a startling realization that you cannot find a separate individual self. The more you look for it, the more it seems to disappear. What remains is pure awareness, boundless and free. This realization is not an intellectual concept, but a lived experience. It is the recognition of your true nature as pure consciousness. And this recognition is the key to exiting the simulation. For when you know yourself as pure awareness, you are no longer bound by the limitations of the physical world. You are no longer identified with the character in the dream. You are the dreamer capable of shaping the dream at will. Now let us explore another powerful tool for exiting the simulation, the practice of living in the end. This technique involves assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, living as if your desire has already been realized. You see, within the simulation, we have been conditioned to believe that we must take action in the physical world to achieve our goals. We think that if we work hard enough, struggle enough, we will eventually reach our desired end. But this approach keeps us trapped in the illusion of linear time and cause and effect. To exit the simulation, you must realize that the end is not something to be achieved in the future. The end is a state of consciousness to be assumed now. When you live in the end, you collapse time. You bring the future into the present moment. Here's how to practice living in the end. Choose a desire, something you wish to experience in your life. Now, instead of thinking about how to achieve this desire, imagine that it has already been fulfilled. How would you feel? How would you think? How would you act if this desire were already a reality in your life? Assume those feelings, thoughts, and actions now. Live from that state of consciousness. Speak, think, and act as the person who already has what you desire. This is not pretending or faking it. This is assuming a new state of being, a new state of consciousness. As you live in the end, you may notice that your outer world begins to rearrange itself to match your new inner state. People, circumstances, and opportunities that align with your assumed state will be drawn to you. This is not magic or coincidence. It is the natural result of aligning your consciousness with your desire. Remember, the outer world is a reflection of your inner world. By living in the end, you are changing the cause. Your state of consciousness and the effect your outer reality must change to match it. Now, my friends, as we delve deeper into the process of exiting simulation, we must address the role of your emotions. Within the simulation, we often believe that our emotions are reactions to external events. We think that we feel happy because something good happened, or sad because something bad happened. But this is part of the illusion. Your emotions are not reactions to the world around you. They are creative forces that shape your reality. They are the energy that gives life to your thoughts and assumptions. To exit the simulation, you must learn to use your emotions consciously and deliberately. Instead of allowing your emotions to be triggered by external events, choose the emotions that align with your desired reality. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the love that you would feel if your desires were already fulfilled. This may seem challenging at first, especially if your current circumstances seem to contradict your desired reality. But remember, your circumstances are the effect, not the cause. By choosing to feel the emotions of your wish fulfilled, you are changing the cause, and the effect must follow. Practice feeling these positive emotions regardless of your external circumstances. When you wake up in the morning, before you even open your eyes, fill yourself with the feeling of joy, of gratitude, of love. Carry these feelings with you throughout your day. Let them inform your thoughts, your words, your actions. As you do this, you may notice a shift in your perception of the world around you. Things that used to bother you may no longer affect you. Opportunities that you didn't see before may suddenly become apparent. This is a sign that you are beginning to see through the illusion of the simulation. Now, let us discuss another crucial aspect of exciting the simulation, the understanding of your oneness with all of creation. Within the simulation, we experience ourselves as separate beings distinct from each other in the same way that we experience ourselves in the simulation. We are separate beings distinct from each other and from the world around us. But this separation is an illusion, a fundamental aspect of the simulation itself. In truth, we are all one. We are individualized expressions of the one divine consciousness. Just as the waves are not separate from the ocean, we are not separate from the infinite field of consciousness that is the source of all creation. To exit the simulation, you must not only understand this truth intellectually, but experience it directly. One powerful way to do this is through the practice of meditation. As you sit in silence, focusing your attention inward, you may begin to experience a dissolution of the boundaries of your individual self. You may have moments where you feel a deep connection with all of life, where the sense of separation falls away, and you experience yourself as pure awareness. These moments are glimpses of reality beyond the simulation. Cultivate these experiences. Seek them out, not just in formal meditation, but in your daily life. Look for the divine in everything and everyone around you. Recognize that the same consciousness that is looking out through your eyes is looking out through the eyes of every other being. As you embrace this understanding of oneness, you will find that your attitude towards others and towards life itself begins to change. You will naturally become more compassionate, more loving, more understanding. You will begin to see that by helping others, you are helping yourself, for there is no true separation between you and others. This realization of oneness is a powerful key to exiting the simulation. For when you know yourself as one with all of creation, you tap into the infinite power and intelligence of the universe. You realize that all the power you have been seeking outside yourself has been within you all along. Now, my dear friends, as we near the conclusion of our exploration, let us address one final crucial point, the importance of persistence and faith in your journey to exit the simulation. In your journey to exit the simulation, this path we have outlined is not always easy. There will be times when the illusion of the simulation seems overwhelmingly real, when your old habits of thought and emotion try to reassert themselves. In these moments, you must persist. You must hold fast to your new understanding, to your new state of consciousness. Remember, the simulation has been your lived reality for so long. It will not disappear overnight. But with persistence and faith, its hold on you will gradually loosen. Have faith in the process. Have faith in your true nature as pure consciousness. Have faith in your power to shape your reality. This faith is not blind belief, but a deep knowing that comes from your direct experience of these truths. Persist in your imaginal acts. Persist in living from the end. Persist in feeling the emotions of your wish fulfilled. Persist in your realization of oneness with all of creation, even when your senses argue against it, even when the outer world seems unchanged. Persist, for it is through this persistence that you reprogram the simulation. It is through this persistence that you align your consciousness with the reality beyond the simulation. It is through this persistence that you ultimately exit the simulation and step into the full realization of your true nature. My dear friends, as we come to the end of our discussion, I want you to remember this. You are not trapped in the simulation. You are the creator of the simulation. You have the power to shape it, to transform it, and ultimately to transcend it. The journey of exiting the simulation is not about escaping from your current reality. It's about awakening to the greater reality of which your current experience is but a small part. It's about remembering your true nature as infinite, eternal consciousness. As you leave here today, carry this knowledge with you. Apply these principles in your daily life. Be aware of your thoughts, your assumptions, your emotions. Use your imagination consciously and deliberately. Live from the state of your wish fulfilled. Recognize your oneness with all of creation, and above all, persist. Persist in your new understanding. Persist in your new state of being. For it is through this persistence that you will ultimately break free from the limitations of the simulation and step into the full realization of your divine nature. Remember, you are not in the simulation. The simulation is in you. You are the dreamer, not the dream. You are the creator, not the creation. Embrace this truth. Live from this truth. And watch as your world transforms around you. Go forth now, armed with this knowledge, empowered by this understanding. The journey of awakening, of exiting the simulation, begins now, and it begins with you. Thank you. And may your journey be filled with joy, wonder, and the thrill of rediscovering your true, infinite nature. Many of you may think of it as some external force separate from your daily life, but I tell you now, manifestation is not separate from you. It is you. It is the very essence of your being, the creative power that shapes your entire reality. Imagine, if you will, that your current reality is like a garment you wear. It may feel comfortable, familiar, even inevitable, but I assure you it is no more permanent or real than the clothes on your back. You can change it just as easily as you change your attire. The secret lies in your imagination and your ability to feel the reality of your desire. Now you might be wondering, Wayne, how can I manifest quickly? Isn't change a slow process? And therein lies the crux of our discussion today. The speed of manifestation is not determined by external factors, but by the intensity of your belief and the vividness of your imaginal acts. You see, the world you experience is not happening to you, it is happening from you. Every circumstance, every event, every interaction in your life is a reflection of your inner assumptions. These assumptions are like seeds planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. And just as a seed grows into a plant, your assumptions grow into your experienced reality. This is why many people find themselves stuck in patterns of lack, of struggle, of not enoughness. They have unknowingly been planting these seeds in their subconscious mind through years of repetitive thoughts and feelings of limitation. But here's the liberating truth. You have the power to choose what seeds you plant. You have the ability to consciously assume the state of your wish fulfilled, regardless of your current circumstances. This, my friends, is the key to fast manifestation. So how do we begin this process of rapid manifestation? The first step is to clearly define what you wish to manifest. Be specific. Don't simply say, I want more money. Instead, imagine in vivid detail what your life looks like with the exact amount of money you desire. How do you feel? What are you doing? How do you spend your time? The more specific and detailed your vision, the more clearly you communicate with your subconscious mind. Once you have this clear vision, the next step is to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This is crucial. You must feel the reality of your desire now, not in some distant future. Remember, your subconscious mind doesn't understand time. It only understands the present moment. So if you constantly feel that your desire is something in the future, it will always remain in the future. Instead, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled now. How would you feel if your desire were already realized? Would you feel joyful, confident, free, grateful? Embody these feelings. Live from this state of being. This is not pretending or lying to yourself. This is assuming a new state of consciousness, which is the very essence of fast manifestation. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Wayne, how can I feel something that isn't yet true? This is where the power of your imagination comes into play. Your imagination is the bridge between your current reality and your desired state. It is through your imagination that you can step into the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even before it manifests in the physical world. Your imagination is not a flight of fancy or a frivolous faculty. It is the very workshop wherein you fashion your future. When you imagine you are experiencing reality at its most fundamental level, you are engaging with the pure potential of consciousness, shaping it with your attention and your assumption. To use your imagination effectively for fast manifestation, you must first quiet your conscious mind, the chattering of your daily thoughts, your worries, your doubts. These must be silenced. Enter a state of relaxation, a state akin to sleep, but in which you remain consciously aware. In this state, your subconscious mind becomes more receptive to impression. Once in this relaxed state, construct your scene. This scene should be one that implies the fulfillment of your desire. If your desire is for a successful career, you might imagine yourself in your ideal office or receiving congratulations from colleagues. If it's financial abundance you seek, imagine yourself looking at your bank statement with joy and gratitude. The scene itself should be short and simple. It's not about creating an elaborate story, but about capturing a moment that implies your desire is now a fact. This scene is your platform, a stage upon which you will enact the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Now step into this scene. Don't watch it as a spectator, but experience it from the first-person perspective. Be there in that moment, and as you experience it, let the feeling of fulfillment watch over you. Feel the gratitude, the joy, the satisfaction of having your desire realized. This is where many falter in their attempts at fast manifestation. They can see the scene clearly, but they fail to evoke the feeling. Remember, it is the feeling that gives life to your imaginal act. Without feeling, visualization is merely a mental exercise. With feeling, it becomes an act of creation. As you practice this, you may find that the feeling comes more easily with repetition. Each time you return to your scene, the feeling becomes more vivid, more real. This is good. You are strengthening the impression upon your subconscious mind. But here's a crucial point for fast manifestation. Once you have evoked the feeling, once you have impressed it upon your subconscious, you must carry it with you into your waking life. This is where many stumble. They do their visualization exercise, they feel it intensely in the moment, but then they return to their daily life and fall back into old patterns of thought and feeling. To manifest quickly, you must maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even in the face of contradictory evidence. This is where faith comes in. Not blind faith, but faith born of understanding. Understanding that your outer world is a reflection of your inner state. When you truly grasp this, you will no longer be swayed by appearances. You will know that what you see around you is the effect, not the cause. The cause lies in your consciousness, in your feeling. And as you persist in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, your outer world must reshape itself to match this inner conviction. Now let us address a common challenge in fast manifestation, the apparent contradictions of your senses. As you begin to live in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you may find that your current circumstances seem to contradict your assumption. Bills may still need to be paid. Problems may still arise. How do you maintain your feeling in the face of these seeming contradictions? This is where the art of ignoring comes into play. To ignore is not to deny the existence of something, but to refrain from giving it your attention and energy. When contradictory evidence appears, acknowledge it briefly. Then immediately return your attention to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Remember, what you see in your outer world is the result of past assumptions, past feelings. It is like an echo of what you once believed. Your task now is to give more attention, more importance, more reality to your new assumption than to these outdated circumstances. This practice requires mental discipline. It requires you to stand firm in your new assumption, even when your senses argue against it. But remember, your senses only show you what has been, not what can be. Your imagination, informed by your feeling, shows you what will be. As you persist in maintaining the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even in the face of contradictory evidence, you will begin to see changes in your outer world. These changes may start small, a fortunate coincidence, an unexpected opportunity, a shift in someone's behavior towards you. Do not dismiss these as mere chance. They are the first fruits of your new assumption taking root. For fast manifestation, it's crucial to recognize and appreciate these small changes. They are confirmations that your imaginal act is working, that your new assumption is reshaping your reality. Acknowledge them with gratitude, for gratitude accelerates the manifestation process. Now let us delve deeper into the nature of feeling in fast manifestation. When I speak of feeling, I am not referring merely to emotions, though emotions play a part. I am speaking of a deeper sense, a knowing and unshakable conviction. It is the difference between saying, "I want to be wealthy," and knowing in the very core of your being, "I am wealthy." This feeling conviction is not something you can fake or force. It arises naturally when you have successfully impressed your desire upon your subconscious mind. This is why the repeated use of your imagination is so crucial for fast manifestation. Each time you return to your imaginal scene, each time you step into the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are deepening this impression. Think of it like wearing a groove in a record. The first time you play the record, the needle may skip and jump, but with repeated plays, the groove deepens and the music plays smoothly. Similarly, as you repeat your imaginal act, the feeling becomes more natural, more habitual. It becomes your dominant state. This is the state from which fast manifestation occurs. When you can maintain this feeling conviction throughout your day, when it becomes as natural as breathing, you have mastered the art of conscious creation. Your outer world has no choice but to conform to this inner state. But what of those moments when doubt creeps in, when fear arises, when the old patterns of thought and feeling try to reassert themselves? These moments are inevitable, especially in the beginning of your practice. Do not be discouraged by them. Instead, see them as opportunities to strengthen your new assumption. When doubt arises, do not fight it. Fighting against the thought only gives it more power. Instead, gently but firmly return to your feeling of wish fulfilled. Remind yourself that what you see around you is the past. Your new assumption, your new feeling, is creating your future. This brings us to another crucial aspect of fast manifestation, the concept of living in the end. Living in the end means assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled in your day-to-day life. It's not enough to visualize for a few minutes each day and then return to your old patterns of thought and feeling. You must carry the feeling of your wish fulfilled with you throughout yourself. This doesn't mean you deny your current circumstances. Rather, you acknowledge them briefly, then immediately return to the feeling of your desire fulfilled. You live from the assumption that what you desire is already yours. For example, if your desire is for financial abundance, you would feel the security, freedom, and joy of wealth as you go about your day. When you make purchases, you would feel the ease and confidence of someone who has more than enough. When you interact with others, you would carry yourself with the assurance of a wealthy person. Living in the end requires a shift in your entire way of being. It's not about pretending or play acting. It's about genuinely assuming a new state of consciousness. When you do this effectively, you'll find that your actions naturally align with your assumed state, accelerating the manifestation process. Now, let us address the role of action in fast manifestation. Some people mistakenly believe that manifesting means they can simply imagine their desires and then sit back and wait for them to magically appear. This is not the case. Fast manifestation does not negate action. It informs action. When you successfully impress your desire upon your subconscious mind, when you truly feel your wish fulfilled, you will be inspired to take actions that align with this state. These actions will feel natural, even inevitable. They will not be driven by fear or lack, but will flow from your assumed state of fulfillment. This is a crucial distinction. When you take action from a place of lack, trying to get what you desire, you are actually affirming the assumption of not having it. But when you take action from the assumption of already having your desire fulfilled, you open yourself to infinite possibilities for its expression and expansion. So, do not neglect action, but ensure that your actions are aligned with and flowing from your assumed state. Let your feeling guide your actions rather than hoping your actions will create the feeling. This alignment of inner state and outer action is key to fast manifestation. Now, let us explore the concept of detachment in relation to fast manifestation. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care about your desire. Rather, it means you're not anxiously attached to seeing immediate results or figuring out how your desire will manifest. When you're detached, you can imagine and feel your desire fulfilled without constantly looking for signs of its manifestation. You trust in the process, knowing that as you maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled, it must inevitably express itself in your outer world. Detachment allows you to live in the present moment while holding your assumed state. It frees you from the anxiety and doubt that can slow down the manifestation process. It allows you to enjoy the journey of manifestation rather than being solely focused on the destination. Practice detachment by reminding yourself that your imaginal act imbued with feeling is the reality. What you see in the outer world is just a shadow, a reflection of past assumptions. As you persist in your new assumption, this shadow must change to match the new reality you're imagining and feeling. Let us now address the importance of gratitude in fast manifestation. Gratitude is not just a pleasant emotion, it is a powerful creative force. When you feel genuinely grateful, you are affirming that you already have what you desire. This aligns perfectly with the principle of living in the end. Begin to cultivate an attitude of gratitude for your desire even before you see it manifested in your physical reality. Be thankful for it, as if it were already yours. Feel appreciation for the abundance that surrounds you in all forms. The air you breathe, the sun that shines, the food you eat. As you practice gratitude, you are assuming the state of someone who has their desire fulfilled. This assumption, persistently held, must manifest in your outer world as the realization of your desire. Now let us explore the power of revision in fast manifestation. Revision is not merely about changing your memories or rewriting your past. It is about recognizing that the past only exists in your mind, and therefore it can be changed in your mind. At the end of each day, take a few moments to review the events of your day. If there were any events that were not to your liking, revise them in your imagination. See them unfolding in a way that aligns with your desired state. Feel the satisfaction, the joy, the fulfillment of this revised version of events. By doing this, you are not denying what physically happened. You are changing the impact of that event on your subconscious mind. You are impressing upon your subconscious a reality that aligns with your desires rather than one that contradicts them. As you make this practice of revision a habit, you will find that your reactions to current events begin to change. You will become less reactive, more peaceful, more aligned with your desired states of being. This alignment accelerates the manifestation process. Let us now discuss the importance of persistence in fast manifestation. While we speak of fast manifestation, it's important to understand that the speed of manifestation is relative. Some desires may manifest almost instantly, while others may take more time. The key is to persist in your assumption, regardless of how long it seems to be taking. Remember, the outer world is a reflection of your inner state. If you waver in your assumption, if you lose faith in the process, you send mixed signals to your subconscious mind, which can slow down the manifestation process. Persistence doesn't mean forcing or struggling. It means consistently returning to the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even when the outer world seems to contradict it. It means choosing again and again to live from the end, to embody the state of having your desire realized. This persistence requires faith, not blind faith, but faith born of understanding. Understanding that your outer world is a reflection of your inner state, and that as you persist in your new assumption, your world must reshape itself to match it. Now, let us address the role of self-concept in fast manifestation. Your self-concept, the beliefs you hold about who you are, is perhaps the most powerful factor in determining what you can manifest in your life. Many people struggle to manifest their desires quickly because their self-concept contradicts what they're trying to achieve. They may visualize wealth, but deep down they don't believe they're the kind of person who can be wealthy. They may imagine a loving relationship, but fundamentally believe they're unworthy of love. To manifest quickly, you must be willing to revise your self-concept. This involves imagining and feeling yourself as the person who already has what you desire. It's not about creating a false image of yourself, but about recognizing, embracing your true, limitless nature. Remember, at your core, you are pure consciousness. You are not defined by your past experiences, your current circumstances, or the opinions of others. You are the awareness in which all these things appear, and this awareness, your true self, is infinite in its potential. As you use your imagination to assume your desired states, you are essentially recreating yourself. You are stepping into a new concept of self, a new understanding of who you are and what's possible for you. This revision of self-concept is crucial for fast manifestation. As you align your self-concept with your desires, you remove the inner contradictions that can slow down the manifestation process. Now, let us explore the role of emotion in fast manifestation. Emotion is the fuel that powers your imaginal acts. It's not enough to merely visualize or think about your desires. You must feel them. When you combine vivid imagination with genuine emotion, you create a powerful impression on your subconscious mind. This is because your subconscious responds more strongly to feeling than to intellectual thought. Continue and finish in 6-7 paragraphs. The emotions you want to cultivate are those you would feel if your desire were already realized. If your desire is for wealth, feel the security, the freedom, the joy that comes with financial abundance. If it's a loving relationship you seek, feel the love, the connection, the companionship. These emotions should be so real, so intense, that when you open your eyes and return to your present circumstances, you carry with you a sense of fulfillment, as if your desire has already been realized. This emotional component is what distinguishes effective fast manifestation from mere daydreaming or wishful thinking. When you can genuinely feel your desire as an accomplished fact, You are impressing it upon your subconscious mind as a reality. Your subconscious then works tirelessly to bring this feeling into physical manifestation. Another crucial aspect of fast manifestation is the practice of letting go. This might seem counterintuitive. After all, if you want something badly, shouldn't you focus on it constantly? But the truth is, obsessing over your desire can actually slow down the manifestation process. It implies a state of wanting, of not having, which contradicts the assumption that your wish is fulfilled. Letting go means trusting in the process. It means doing your imaginal work, feeling the reality of your desire, and then releasing it, knowing that the seed has been planted and will grow in its own time. This state of peaceful expectancy, free from anxiety or doubt, creates the perfect conditions for rapid manifestation. As we near the conclusion of our exploration of fast manifestation, remember this: the power to transform your reality lies within you. It resides in your ability to imagine vividly, to feel deeply, and to assist faithfully in the assumption of your wish fulfilled. The speed of manifestation is not determined by external factors, but by the intensity of your belief and the consistency of your imaginal acts. Go forth from here with this knowledge. Apply these principles in your daily life. Use your imagination consciously and deliberately to create scenes that imply the fulfillment of your desires. Feel the reality of your wish fulfilled with every fiber of your being. Persist in this feeling even when your sense is denied, for as you do, you are reshaping your entire world, manifesting your desires with a speed and precision you may have thought impossible. Remember, you are the operant power in your world. You are limited only by your ability to imagine and to feel the reality of your wishes fulfilled. Embrace this truth, live from this understanding, and watch as your world transforms around you, reflecting the newfound mastery of your creative consciousness.